Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Today we're talking about the U.S. office market in 2016 and beyond. My guests are Ned Austin and Brian Leary. They're both with Crescent Communities. And gentlemen, I like that you guys are doing office development and you're doing it in a mixed use environment. And you know, where there's a lot of mixed use, and I think in retail and in multifamily. It's a little more rare, I guess, for office, but there seems like there would be a lot of advantages if you're a tenant to be in a mixed-use development where your office tenants get to get all those other amenities, right? So
Exactly.
What are the advantages there?
No, you nailed it. It's about amenities and having access and mobility and options to walk out in your building. You don't necessarily need the mix of uses in the lobby, right? Because that can be complicated. A lot of brain damage can be expensive. You need to be in your neighborhood. You need to be out the front door. And so that's why we've seen the tightest submarkets across our footprint, which really follows the sun, kind of from the mid-Atlantic all the way even out to the Southwest. Those submarkets that have those mixed use of amenities and that are proximal to where the office can be, that office drives a premium, not only from a rental rate, but from an absorption standpoint. So we really see it as an amenity base that's much more than just parking and efficient floor plates and fast elevators. It becomes a whole set of experiential and lifestyle amenities you can deliver on top of just collecting rent.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it, Ned, in this market, because I think more and more of the tenants, the people running companies today, are really concerned about retention and recruiting. You know, as the job market's improved, you know, you really got to have that environment that's going to keep your employees happy and attract the best talent, right?
That's right. And if you think back, or you look back 10 years ago when a company was looking for space, it was more about the company. If I do a lot of travel, I want to be located near an airport. If I liked suburban setting, that's where I want to be. Now it's really focused more on the employee,
right,
and the employee experience and that recruitment and retention. And that's why that amenities and that mix of use brings such to the top, because I think we're seeing a big turn in the employment base as these folks move out and these millennials come in. It's a different mindset that corporate America is really starting to embrace.
Many corporations we're talking to, Michael, that have big boomer workforces are looking at 50% of their entire workforce retiring over the next 10 years. And so Ned mentioning in the past, you saw such a suburban move. I think the suburbs are still very much in play. We're building them in Cool Springs. But it's those infill suburbs that can have a mix of uses. Look at the central perimeter in Atlanta. Look at the stuff going on here in uptown Charlotte or even South Park, Charlotte. That really answers it. And what happened in the past in the suburbs, that's where the CEO lived. Now the CEO knows that he or she needs to drive to where his employees want to be.
Right. Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I've been in the business a long time. I just call it 30 years now because I don't want to sound too old, right? But you know, if they think you're too old, they'll at the holiday party they'll put a red suit on you and a beard and have you give out presents. But you know, I remember back in the day, right? You do all these analysis for their location, and at the end of the all analysis, you say, "Now, where's the CEO live?"
Right. Right. Exactly.
But it is all about
there's the executive housing. You're totally.
It's all about the employees. Well, what about the development, the operations, and kind of the management of these office properties in these mixed-use developments? Are there any challenges or things that you kind of want to watch out for as you're planning these developments and then operating them?
Absolutely. I mean, first off, if it's a new construction, using a team that's actually done it before and has kind of worn the scars of the battles are really important, because you can make some real mistakes if you're not protecting parking for your office users, providing parking for your retail users. You can have inherent conflicts there if you don't kind of provide the opportunity for public space, but then private escapes. Those little things are real important on the design and construction to begin with. But then from a management standpoint, we really see the management of office buildings needing to take the evolution of kind of almost providing a concierge-like service that you get at a hotel. That the lobby needs to be a place where you don't have two people in oversized blazers sitting behind a too tall desk, where you just see the top of their heads. These people almost need to be barista-like or concierge-like and engaging with the tenants as almost partners in that community.
Yeah, that's interesting. So looks a little bit more like you're walking to an Apple store, right?
Exactly, right. That's where, coming back to the whole millennial move, it's not just millennials, boomers and Xers, where I fall in between, Ned does too. People want that. People, it's like the Starbucksanization of lobbies and retail. You got to protect it, right? Because you're still there to do business. But if you don't create a commercial community that people want to linger longer or be excited to get to work at, you're going to have a hard time keeping the talent, because talent today will go wherever they are happy living and working, not necessarily what company they want to work for.
Right. And we're short on the break here, but you also have to watch out how you're planning the documents, right? How all these properties interact, because aren't you on some of these having one entity on the office, one the retail, but they all have to work together, and you're creating documents that are control this property for a very long time or maybe forever, right?
You can spend a lot of money with a lawyer who hasn't done it before,
Yeah.
and it'll be very painful, seriously. And to find a lawyer who's dealt with this, it's not that uncommon. You can do air rights, you can condominiumize different estates, whether it's the retail or the residential or office. But having a good set of documents really helps down the line. It really relates to parking, easements, who pays for what. Absolutely.
Yeah, when you're really creating something that might be there forever. Well, gentlemen, thanks for joining us on Skype today. We appreciate you being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Michael.
All right, well, stay tuned. We'll have more on the U.S. office market for 2016 and beyond. Stay with us. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty, a great place to do business. Xceligent, information for the professionals. And Commercial Search, properties for sale and lease. To access these companies or for additional videos, podcasts, and articles, visit CREshow.com.